Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at all Helping Parents Heal meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speaker may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you could be here with us this evening. And welcome, Shelly. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are so thrilled to have you here, Shelly. And Shelly is such a calming presence. It's always wonderful to listen to her. And I get so much healing energy from hearing what she has to say. I'm going to read a very short bio for her so that you all can know a little bit more about her in case you don't already know. Shelly Wilson is an intuitive medium, Reiki Master, life coach, author, and inspirational speaker. Shelly has an innate ability to meet people where they are, while offering a tailored approach intended to bolster their own connection to spirit. She illuminates each person's unique soul key and helps individuals reignite their spark while reminding them of the power they behold. During classes and private sessions, she creates a space for empowered transformation and provides practical, actionable tools. Her website is www.shellyrwilson.com. I'll be posting that in the chat box. And without further ado, please join me and Irene in welcoming beautiful Shelly Wilson. Welcome, Shelly.
Thank you so much, both of you, Elizabeth and Irene, and thank you to all of you that chose to be here tonight. And so, as we know, we're just a few days into this new year. We are through the holidays, and I know many of us probably felt the space where our loved one wasn't here physically with us. And we know that they're with us energetically, but at times, as we know, we long for that physical presence. So I invite you in this moment just to take a big deep breath, to relax, to come to this moment in time, to allow yourself to honor whatever emotions you feel in this moment, and just invite your child to come close. Invite other loved ones to come close as well. And just ask them to blend with you so that you can feel their love, feel their presence. And tonight we're going to focus on making some connections with several of your children. And once again, I do remind you, if something resonates with you, be sure and speak up. Everything does come through as thoughts and words and feelings and impressions. And as we often find, many times they like to join forces where they come in together and help to build that energy to bring them forth. So is everyone feeling nice and centered and grounded in this moment and ready to start making some connections? Good. I see several heads shaking. What we'll do at the end is if anyone has any questions, we'll save that for the end if there are any. But I know all of you are just excited to get started and make these connections once again. So first of all, I feel a younger female coming forth, and she is just adorable. I have to say that. She is showing me in wearing like a pink, what I want to say like a tutu or ballet outfit, and she has just a round face. She's telling me 5, so I don't know if 5 is her age or if she has been in spirit for 5 years. Now, with this outfit that she's wearing, she keeps showing she's laying down on her knees. She's got her face propped up. Her elbows are on the ground, is what it looks like. But it looks like she's wearing like flippers. And when I ask her about it, she tells me she's a mermaid. So I do feel like she had a very strong imagination that she would like to dress up and play. And she's also showing me that she's got either some kind of crown or something on her head. So I do get the sense of dress up play. Now, when I feel her energy, I do get a sense that there was a health condition. I do feel like there was a progression with her, but she just gives me this sense of being able to um, navigate the challenges. I just get a sense of her having a very bright light, a very bright spirit, and doing the best to navigate it is the word I want to use. Of course, that's not the word she would use, but that's the word that feels appropriate to me. So as I said, I see her. She is showing me her hair color. It looks to be kind of a blondish brown. I don't want to go dark and I don't want to go just blonde, but I see it's kind of long, probably touching her shoulder, but I just get this sense of a fuller face. And I do get a sense too that she may have been on some type of treatment, perhaps steroids or chemo or something that may have made her face a bit fuller. So I do want to recognize that too. So as I'm describing this beautiful young lady, does anyone understand her? Can you resonate with that? And as I said, I feel like a very vivid imagination and like to play dress up.
If you can take these validations, if you can just type it in the chat, please, we'll call on you.
Mhm. Help to make the connection.
Well, maybe this is for someone that's going to watch
Later.
the recording later, or someone
Okay.
that isn't in the meeting yet.
Right. Yes, that, as we know, that tends to happen, but she is very present here. And the way that she's posed, it's almost like, as I said, her chin resting on her hands, her elbows. It's almost like she's, on her tummy watching something. So maybe she's just here to be with us this evening and has plenty of time because she doesn't give me a sense of going away anytime soon. So I do feel, as I said, with her being here, she does want me to recognize that she's good. She gives me this sense of continuing to play dress up. So I know with her parents, she's often going to come through showing them different memories, but also giving this sense too of how she's dressing up. As I said, I just get this funness, vividness, this silly imagination, and would take items and just say, this is what she imagines it to be. So I definitely want to recognize that. So if anyone doesn't understand her, no worries. We're going to believe that someone will be contacting me later or pop on later and be able to take it, okay? And if there's any aspect that you can understand the majority of it, but not all of it, let me know too, okay? Because sometimes it's not absolute. I do hear a name like Bethany or Brittany, something that's got the Y in, but I do feel like it starts with a B to begin with. So I want to recognize that as well. Okay. We don't see anybody acknowledging it, right, girls?
No,
I don't.
not
No.
yet. That's interesting. I think this is one of the first times we've had this happen, but I'm sure that she's going to be um, someone who listens to this is going to be able to
Understand it later. Yeah, as we know, it happens, not typically the first one in. It's usually towards the end, but as I said, she was here ready to go. So once again, I just know that she's here, she's good, and she's probably going to hang out for a while. So I have a male coming through now, and this male, he's showing me, I want to put him probably about at least 6 foot tall. He looks pretty tall, giving me a sense of a slender build. When I feel into him, I get a lot of heart connection with him. This may mean that he just loved big, had a big heart, but I do feel like there may have been some heart health issues. And this may have been where he just passed, of course, and his heart stopped. But I do see darker hair. I see darker skin. This can mean that he's tan, but I do feel like his race that he may have be darker skin with that. And I get a sense too, just being a he's giving me a sense of being a very kind young man, just giving me this sense of wanting to help others, gives me a sense of being very good with his hands. I asked him, "Are you good in school?" And he just kind of smiled. So I don't know that he made the best grades, but I feel like he was very smart and quick thinking and could create things out of nothing. But he shows me doing a lot of things with his hands. I'm hearing robotics, so I feel like there may have been something even building. And I know people like to do things with Legos and things like that as well. I'm seeing the number 17. I don't know if that is his exact age or if this is something as a number, a day of the month, but I want to recognize that also. So can anyone understand this young man coming through? And as I said, he gives me a sense of being smart, but not necessarily good in school. So smart in other ways. I think he's telling me he got bored easy. So I feel like there was either he didn't want to do his schoolwork or didn't like it or take the time to do it, but he could do it. He says, you got to be sure and clarify this so it doesn't reflect poorly on his parents. So I know that he wants me to be very adamant about how I'm saying this.
So Trish is saying my son was tall, slim, and was a mother hen with his loved ones. He died of sudden cardiac arrest and was very creative, but he was 41. So
Okay.
that might be too
Okay.
old. Yelena is saying 17 is from my son, smart. I'm not sure. So is that his age or date that's important, Yelena?
And Shelly, for Trish, that's 41 is too old. Okay.
Okay. Well, the thing is as we know, they can come in together. So the one first to meet, Yelena is the one whose son passed at 41. Let me get that.
That's
Trish.
Trish. Okay. And but he had the heart health, and then Yelena understands this also, but he was closer to that age.
Libby Whitaker also does. She says, my son was very tall and slender, not the greatest in school, but he was great with Legos. He passed at 21 from brain cancer when his heart stopped.
Okay. Okay, I've got chills coming in. So let's actually start with that
With
last
Libby?
one first. And it is
Sure.
important because I feel darker skin tone. So I need
Okay.
to narrow that down also, and darker hair. And
Hi,
as
Libby.
I said, the smart with that. So let me see where Libby's
Yeah.
at on the
I'm here.
Hi,
screen.
Libby. Can you speak, please?
There she is.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm here.
You?
Okay. Yes. So Libby, how did you understand that? Did most of it fit, but not necessarily the age?
Most of it fit.
Mhm.
And actually kind of giggled when you made the comment about was something you said about school. I kind of smiled and laughed because I could see him making the smile, like not the greatest in
Greatest.
school.
Okay.
That.
Okay. So does everything else pretty much make sense with you also?
Um, the darker skin, not so much.
Okay. What
Um,
about tan skin? Just like if he was outside getting
yeah,
tan.
that, yes.
Okay. And tell me your son's first name, please.
It was Burke.
Burke, okay. And so with the age, did that range make sense as well? Or I
Yeah,
know we're saying most everything,
he
okay?
was 21.
21, okay. And he's the one who had the brain cancer, but then passed from his heart stopping.
So yeah, when you said heart stopped, I just
Mhm.
remember we were all in the hospital with him, and
Okay,
they took him off of life support, and he passed when his heart stopped.
stop. Okay. So his name's Bert, you said with a T on the end?
Burke,
Mark with a
B-U-R-K.
K. Okay, with a K. Okay, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Let me just build his energy because the whole time you were talking, I did have chills head to toe. And once again, that is a validation from them that they're coming through, that I know it's a way that they're here. And I know, especially when he was telling me to, give the look, smile kind of thing, because
When you said
yeah,
that, that was,
yeah, and I got more chills as soon as I'm saying that. So I know that he definitely, got by, is what he's telling me. It's like he got by, he did what he could, but I know that he says that he was just really bored. So if anything, he was very smart, but not necessarily devoted to getting what he needed done, or he was kind of lazy. And he's not wanting me to use that word, but that's the feeling that I get. Or maybe others have implied that when he didn't get it done. Okay. Now with Burke too, he's giving me like this big hello. He wants me just to wave my hand. So I know he's definitely saying hello, mom. And there's something about just the big smile, the big thought, because I feel like he had a smile that would light up the room. There's something about his energy, his light. And I know too, because he's talking about continuing this path going forward. There is something too. And before Bert came in, I heard the name, as I said, Bethany or Brittany. By chance, is there any connection to Burke with either of those names? Because as we know, sometimes they help each other come forward. And if it's not, no worries. I'm just wanting to recognize it if that's a potential.
yeah, I can't
Okay.
think of any connection.
Okay, so the other thing that Burke is telling me, because he's showing me, it's almost like a stationary bike is how I would describe it. So I don't know if this is something you've got in your room or he did some physical therapy, but
Mm-mm.
it's there. So can you understand that?
I absolutely can. He liked to make fun of me riding on my Peloton bike all of the time.
Okay.
So, yeah, he would always
Okay.
come into the room and stand behind me and make fun of me.
I
Mhm.
have a feeling too, because he's still there, as you're doing this, but it's almost like he gives me a sense of kind of being a bit of a comedian, but this feeling like he may imitate things, and he's
Mhm.
showing me almost like a mime. So I don't know if he may be doing hand gestures or body gestures, and it's almost like, well, here's mom,
He is.
and moving it. But I know that the whole time that he's showing this to me, he's smiling. So I
Mhm.
know that there is something, even as you do that now and you think about him standing there watching you, he still
Mhm.
is. So I know that there's something about, and he's talking about looking in the mirror. So, whether you watch yourself or look in the mirror or you walk by a mirror and catch a glimpse, he just gives me this sense of, catching a glimpse of him as well. He
Mhm.
wants to give you a big hug. So he just says, thank you for being there. Thank you for loving me. And he just gives me this sense that he says he doesn't want you to be sad. So I know that you're going to have sad moments, but he doesn't want you to wallow in it, is what he's telling me. Don't wallow in sadness. So I know whatever you can do to think about the joy and the love and those memories with him, that's what he wants you to bask in. Okay. And he
Yeah,
says, Mom, I love you so much. So thank you for speaking up, Libby.
thank you.
Yes.
That was beautiful, Shelley. That's wonderful, Libby.
And thank you for speaking up, because once again, sometimes it's just the little nuances, it's the little feelings. But this is something to remember, all of our children, all of our loved ones, they connect with us throughout the day, but we have to be willing to recognize it, and really trust, because sometimes our human mind wants to think that we're just making it up. And in reality, yes, we may think that we're going throughout the day and remembering them and thinking of them and so on. But in reality, what's happening is they're popping in and saying, I'm right here. Now, I would love to bring through the one as well, the first one that spoke up, that
Trish.
indicated that their son passed at 41. So if
Yes,
you
that
come
was
on,
Trish.
perfect.
Sure. Let me find her. Hi, Trish. Can you speak, please?
Hi.
Can you
There you are. Hi, Trish. So most everything resonated with your son as well, except for the passing of the age. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, in his heart, he had the symptoms and had that situation. So can I go ahead and get your son's first name?
His name is Jesse.
Jesse. Okay, so let's feel into Jesse for a moment. Now, did it make sense as well when I was talking about the school part, where he was very good with his hands, good with things, but once again, he may not have been the best or just may not have done his schoolwork? Can you understand that?
Yes, he just would skate by, and it wasn't until he went to college that he really got interested in school.
Well, he said that it was different because that was being paid for. So I have a feeling that there was, something different with um, high school public education when it's like had to buckle down because it's like, oh, this is different. Now, when I feel Jesse's energy, he does keep giving me this sense too. Did he do any type of woodworking or something? He's showing me some blocks, and I don't know if they're sanding blocks or what they would actually entail, but it looks a bit bulky. So do you want, or working on a car? This may have been like a sanding block on a car. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, what is this block? And then as soon as I heard car, I was like, that's got to be it. Sanding, fixing up a car. So what he's giving me a sense, Trish, is that there was either an unfinished project or a project that he talked about and just didn't ever follow through. So I know that this may have been one of his passions, fixing things up, cleaning it up, making it look pretty, but he does give me a sense of not finishing it. So can you understand that?
Yes, he had lots of unfinished projects.
Okay. And he's telling me too, is some still around that either people are trying to finish him or they're just looking at him, almost like they're, the word evaded me, but he's giving me a sense almost like they're just statues, I guess would be a word, but they don't really have a use, is what he's telling me. So I don't know if they're not running or they're just not prettied up yet. Can you understand that?
Yes, his brother vowed to finish all his projects, but he hasn't been able to bring himself to do that.
Okay, well, I have a feeling Jesse is just kind of tapping his toes. And, sometimes we just think of impatience or the idea of the time involved or the financial aspect involved or just because it was Jesse's projects. But I do get a sense Jesse's saying, just pick one, and then maybe just get rid of the rest. You'll find a home for him. So I just have a feeling from Jesse, he's saying that he's going to know which one. He does give me a sense of the heart, health once again, and also loving big. So I pick up that energy in the heart area. But there is something about him wanting to help his brother or work with his brother to do that. And I know once again, sometimes we wonder, how is that possible? But they can absolutely work through us. Give us these thoughts and ideas, and if anything, Jesse's just like, come on, let's get started. Let's go for it. So if this is something you want to pass on, then to his brother and say, maybe just start one. And, Jesse's good with if you want to find a home for the others. And he says, because that'll fund the project. So there may be something about releasing some of the others, and then that will have the funds for that project. He keeps showing me a red car. So I don't know if red was his favorite or the car is red now, but needs to be polished up a bit. But he's showing me like a cherry red color. So do you know if that's one of them, or is that just a color that he might have liked?
No, he favored blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Well, there's a cherry red color. So by chance, does his brother like the color red or is thinking about a red?
No, I can't think
Okay.
what that would be.
Well, is there by chance a color of a car now that is that color that's going to change colors and become blue?
Mm. I'm still not thinking of anything.
Okay. Well, I know I'm seeing the color red, a bright cherry polished red. So this, as I said, may be something that someone else has in mind to do, but I'm being shown that color right now to recognize. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing that Jesse wants to say is it's like he wants to pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. So whatever's going on, he's not giving me details with that, but he says, tell mom it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. So I know there's something, he says there's something coming. He also gives me a sense too, and I know this is the month of January, but to recognize this month. So I don't know if this is a birth month, passing month, or other month of significance, or something to come, but he is showing me this month as well. So can you understand that, Trish?
No,
No?
sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay to say, no, I don't understand. Well, this may be something that comes in as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge it once again. The other thing that Jesse's saying is he says it's important to not feel bad. So once again, anything that you may be rethinking, revisiting, or just, holding on to, he says it's important to not feel bad about it. Okay.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
he does give me a sense too about, a good life, living a good life. So I know that even though it was short, he says it was still a good life. It was still a good life. So remember that.
I agree with that.
Okay, good. So Trish, I'm going to leave that with you at this time. So thank you and blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And let me go ahead and take the spotlight off of Libby. And let's see, let's keep going if you want.
Okay. Was anybody else said that that description? I know Yelena said something as well, but I just want to make sure that everyone that resonated with that we had the opportunity to connect.
So yes, she did too. Yelena, did you
Mhm.
want to speak to
Let's
Yelena?
go ahead and bring Yelena on because as I know, many times they tend to work together, as I said. So let's get Yelena on here.
Let's see, Irene, can you find
Yep.
Yelena?
She's unmuted.
Great.
Hello.
There you are. Hi, Yelena.
Hi. Hi, Shelly.
And tell me your son's name, please.
Igor. Igor.
Yes. And most of this information resonated with him as well?
Number 17, big time. Ever since he was 13, we communicated with number 17, and it was validation of him being okay. When he was a teenager, I started calling his phone and I was asking, how are you? Where are you? What are you doing? And he stopped picking up the phone, so I came up with this number, and it's his birthday. And I said, how about I'll text you 17 and you just text me 17 back. And I know you're okay. That's all I needed to know. And
Okay.
was our communication. So whenever I
So
see
when I
number
said
17, that's me.
you
Yeah.
felt that. Okay. By chance, did the description fit with Igor or
He
anything
was
else as well?
slimmer. Yes,
Uh-huh.
darker hair,
Yeah.
slimmer, school
Okay.
big time. He was smartest kid in the school, but he didn't want to go to the school
Okay.
because
Okay.
he said he was too smart to go,
Okay, well, I can see him saying that too, and he's still kind of shaking his head, Mom, just like you're shaking your head now. So I just get this sense that Igor was definitely wanting to make his appearance here tonight with you as well.
Thank you.
Just give you that reassurance that you are on track with making that connection when you see that number. And he keeps showing me too, almost like he's kind of pushing you, not in a way that's meant to hurt or anything like that, but it's almost like he's trying to push you forward. So I don't know if there's some things that you're feeling inspired to do, Yelena, but Igor's just giving me this strong sense like, Mom, you got to do it. You got to do it. And at the same time as he's just gently wanting to nudge you forward, he's here to support you. He's here to walk with you too. So can you understand that?
Yes, I can definitely understand that.
Okay, so I know he's also showing me waving a flag. So of course I can think of this as some type of reference with a country or a state, but I also just think of waving a flag as a peace. You know, we think of a peace flag with that too. So I do feel like he wants you to continue to focus on peace and wellness as you step into this. And he's telling me too, there's something about don't feel like you have to look back. In other words, you know, he's with you now as you grow forward, but there's something about not feeling like you have to retrace your steps. So can you understand that statement also?
Yes, definitely with the flag. We were
Mhm.
born in Ukraine, so I would connect maybe that too, that part.
Okay. Okay.
And yes, with the second one too, I can understand definitely.
Okay, good. So he wants to give you a big hug. I know he's taller than you, and he's like almost falling into you. He's showing me standing behind you with his hands on your shoulders and just kind of putting his chin on your shoulder. So I know leaning into you just gives me this sense of big love for you, Yelena, and just a reminder that he's going to be there. He's got your back. He's pushing you forward. And he tells me just like you would push him, just like you would encourage him, he's here to do the same for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to leave you
Thank
with
you,
that
Shelly.
tonight. You are so
Wonderful. And
welcome.
I have to say that I love Yelena's background because it is a bunch of artists from Helping Parents Heal, both parents and providers who are in that collage. So thank you for having that as your background, Yelena. We have one other person who's saying, actually two, but one is saying, my son had a big heart. He passed of cardiac arrest. He was 31. He was tall, dark, shoulder length hair. So I don't know if that, if you want to keep going with this,
Yes,
or
did the other information make sense as well? The main thing too with the school, you know, not really liking it, very smart, and maybe something with robotics or you know, building Legos, good with hands too, because I know that those were some of the criteria helping to bring them in as well.
so Denise, oh no, sorry, she's saying no, sorry.
Okay, okay.
And then we have one other who said, my son was 27, big Lego fan and huge heart for others, but only 5'10", slender and tan though. So I don't know if
Okay. Well, when we think of size, to me, anything taller than me is tall too. So I can recognize that too. Let's go ahead and bring in the last one too, because there is, yeah, school not his favorite, but smart. So is Dawn the same one that you were referencing? Let's get Dawn on here as well.
okay.
I've asked her to unmute. Hi, Dawn.
Hi there.
Hi, Dawn. So tell me your son's name, please.
His name is Tanner.
Tanner. Okay. And does it make sense too, was Tanner, to your knowledge, having some issues with vision or needing to wear glasses, something like that?
He had a serious eye injury several years ago, so only one of his eyes really gave him vision.
Okay, because automatically I felt the left eye feeling a bit blurred, or there was something going on, and I felt it in my left eye.
I can't remember if it was his left eye or his right eye. On right eye or left? Right, it was his right eye, I guess.
Okay. I felt it on this side, but I knew that I was supposed to
Mm,
acknowledge something about the eye with that.
okay.
With Tanner also, he does give me this sense, heart going on. He's telling me about collapsing. Can you understand collapse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says he scared you. So I know that there's something about being distressing or something, but he's giving me a sense of collapse, and maybe it wasn't you, but someone else around him. But he does give me this sense of people being worried, which is understandable, but he just gives me that sense right away. I do get a sense from him also, because he shows me being invincible. So I get this sense that either he thought he was invincible, that he could do anything at any time, being strong, but he gave me, all of a sudden I saw Marvel comics come in and all of those characters from that. So I don't know if he was a fan of some of those. I saw Captain America and some others, or it's just his energy that he's wanting to recognize with that. So can you understand that with him?
I'm pretty sure he binge watched all of
the
those
Avengers
shows.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just gave me a flash, and then Captain America is the one that just stuck there for a second.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know absolutely for sure, but I do remember having a conversation with him of him saying another one was coming out, and it gave me the impression that he had been watching all of them.
Okay.
So
Yes, I would say that if anything, he was very curious, because as we know, sometimes things portrayed in the movies, it's like, oh, is this real life as well? But there is something about that I'm supposed to acknowledge. The other thing with Tanner too, does give me the sense of big heart as I feel into this, but there's something too, because he keeps showing me like placing his hands on you. So I don't know if at times it does feel like he has his hands on your back, or hands on your chest area, but he's showing me almost like laying hands on you. When I see this too, I think of healing, like Reiki healing. So this may be his way of saying that he's here to heal you, heal your heart, lay his hands on you in that way. Can you understand? I say it that way?
Yeah, I sometimes feel his presence. I wasn't with him when he passed, so I don't think it has to do with his passing, but yeah.
Just, yeah, with his presence now though, like healing you. So because he's showing me like standing in front of you, as I said, hands in front or hands behind. So I feel like this is his way of saying being around, wants you to feel his presence. He's helping your heart to heal as you navigate this grief journey. Okay.
Okay. It's a very new journey for me. So maybe I'm just not as in tune as I need to be.
Well, the thing is it is subtle, as we begin learning the language of communication. It's not as you and I are talking here, it's definitely thoughts and feelings and emotions. So it is heightening that awareness to be able to connect. But I see him, as I said, in front of you. And this may be just his way of showing me he's transferring energy, he's being present, he's helping you to heal with that too.
Okay. I mean, he gives me definite signs that I know for sure I am. So yeah, he is coming around trying to heal us for sure.
Okay. And when I pick up his energy as well, I do get a sense too of just being a healer anyway. So I feel either words, presence, energy. I know sometimes people may not use that language for themselves, but at the same time, we can think of, their presence here and what it is offered, and how we feel that connection and everything else. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's showing me October as well to acknowledge. So I do feel like it's important. And he does give me this sense too that he keeps showing me either like a whiteboard or something. I don't know if this is just like right in the kitchen or this is an office area, but I see it like a doorway and then just right to the side of that. But I feel like there's some place to either keep track of things, write things down, but he shows it's there. So can you understand that?
That doesn't really resonate with me, no.
Okay. Okay,
I mean, I keep a journal of what he shows me, but not on a big board. So,
okay. Yeah, there's something that I see almost, it looks to be about the size of a calendar. But I see just literally like walking around a corner into a room, and then something that is hanging up that is being written on. So,
oh, that makes sense. Yeah. One of
okay,
the signs he gives me is something that he wrote on.
okay. So is this in
That
this room then?
no, it's in our kitchen,
It's in your kitchen.
but
Okay, okay.
yeah,
So I know
he
that,
manipulates it. He
okay.
manipulates this. Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you
a
for that
lot.
because I know
Yeah.
that he was showing me this for a reason. And, once again, it is us understanding what they're trying to
And
say.
I think he's validating the sign that I'm getting from him, that it truly is from him. It's not as large as a calendar, but
Mhm.
yeah, he manipulates this object very often.
Okay,
So
okay. It is him because he's telling me
mhm.
about it right now. So I know that
Okay.
you've got to be able to trust. And at the same time, um, you're going to have a feeling, a physical feeling when you feel that connection too. So instead of
Yeah.
you running it through your mind and trying to analyze it, he says, Mom, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah. He
Okay.
was pretty clear on that on New Year's, just to
Okay.
stop doubting that that's what it is, that that's it,
Yeah.
So I've been waiting when I've gotten readings for someone to say specifically this particular thing.
Hmm.
Um, they don't, and that's okay. Now I've stopped doubting. It's definitely him.
Yes.
So
The
yeah.
thing is, Dawn, when we receive the information, it's coming through our frame of reference. So unless
Yeah.
this is something that we know or experienced or
Yeah.
have, then we may not have the understanding of what it is.
I
So
understand that, Shelly. I really do. I'm just you acknowledging, something that had writing on it and that's, basically being manipulated validates it completely. And
yeah.
yeah.
So the other
So
thing is take note of the sensations you feel because when this is happening, you're probably going to feel things on your crown chakra. And that's going to
mhm.
be your validation as well of that presence, of his presence.
Can I ask you if he feels like he's okay? Like he's
He is okay. He said, Mom, yes. And the way he said it, he's just like, Mom, you ask me this every day. And he's saying this because
yep.
he's saying it because he knows you're worried and that you wonder.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
said, I'm good. He tells me, I'm with others, and of course, others can be grandparents. He is showing me an older male figure with him.
Okay.
And I do see him too because the area that he's in, it looks, I don't know if I would call it going hunting or a shooting range type thing, but I get a sense that there may have been some kind of nature. And I'm
hmm
trying to be very gentle as I talk about this, but I feel like they would be outdoors. They would be hanging out, doing things outdoors in that way.
Him and this older male.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
So
Yeah.
I know some people may not agree with things like that, but I do get a sense that
No,
they're hanging together.
I understand that. Yeah.
Okay.
And I understand who the older male is too. I thought it was someone else, but with that description, I
Mhm.
understand a different older male. So yeah, that's amazing. Um and yes, I have worried about how he is just because of the way he passed. So
He says, he gave me a sense that he was released from his body. So it's almost like gave me a sense of collapse, but then jumping out of it, So I do get a sense that it's this release that he wants you to recognize and to not feel like he's stuck or that he's stuck there.
okay.
So I
He
think that's
definitely
why he was
he
going back.
definitely was after the release. Yeah.
Yeah, he that's why he was showing me that Marvel comics and all of that too. So I got a sense of invincible.
hmm
His spirit is whole and perfect and all of that. And he was released is what he's telling me.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
So
you, Shelly.
you're
And
welcome,
this is
Dawn.
being recorded because I had headphones in and now my husband didn't get to hear it all. Is that
Yes,
correct? I'll
yes.
be able to go.
Yep, yeah,
Okay.
he'll be able to listen to it. Okay.
Okay. I
And
really appreciate you.
yes, your son says, I love you so much. So quit asking me if I'm okay. And you can still ask Don, but he wants you to know that he is.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
It's
Blessings to
amazing to
you.
hear from him. Yeah.
Yes.
Such
Well,
a-
thank you for speaking up tonight too.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate
Okay.
your time.
Oh, you're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
on goodness. And if you could send us a validation story, that would be absolutely amazing. And I am just going to put my email in the chat box while you continue. I think we have some time still, but just so that if people could, if you've gotten validations, write me at elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org. That would be wonderful, and I can add them to the newsletter. And it's always so nice for Shelly as well to see. A lot of times you figure things out too later on that you might not have remembered.
Yes.
Spot. So, just like the whiteboard. I just love that. But anyway, sorry, just wanted to let everybody know it's always nice to get those stories for other people.
Yes, and what we want to remember too is when we're in this state, we are listening, we're trying to remember, we're trying to place it at the same time too. So that's why, our mind is working, and at the same time, the more that you can feel the energy, feel the presence. And once again, your children are going to communicate with you directly. The thoughts, the words, the feelings, the impressions, you have to trust it. And yes, you can ask them to show you signs and give you messages, but just remember, would your kids listen to you when you would ask them to do things here? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes they may be a bit resistant. So keep asking, but just know that they're often going to come forward in ways that you absolutely know that it's them. So instead of saying, I want to see this, trust when you get those messages, okay?
So
So you
we
want me
still have
to,
other people who are talking about identifying with what you were saying. I don't know if you want to continue or if you would like to move to someone else. Whatever you would like to do is fine.
yes. Well,
Barbara,
I
Barbara,
definitely, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Barbara was saying her son collapsed, and she's sure that this was her son. That you were
Okay.
talking, he was a fan of Marvel Comics.
Ah.
She keeps on saying that she can feel his presence tonight with her and with.
Well, let's bring her forward, because
Okay.
what I was sensing is that, I saw several young men holding hands, and it's like they blended together and then they begin separating so that we can get each one to the right mom. And so let's go ahead and bring forth Barbara and do that.
Hi.
Okay, there you are, Barbara.
Oh my God. So much of what you said. I wasn't feeling it at first, but then when you started talking about the collapse, the white
Mhm.
flag, the
Mhm.
marvel, my son was in hospital for 3 months. He collapsed from a brain AVM. It ruptured. And
Mhm.
his birthday and the date of his death is in October. He died the day after his birthday, and I can so see him fighting to get through to me right
Yeah.
now. And I feel like that's what he's doing.
Yes. So Barbara,
Sorry.
tell me your son's name.
His name is Justin.
Justin. Okay. And I've got full chills head to toe again as we're bringing through Justin. So thank you for speaking up. He says, Mom, I know that you needed to hear from me as well. So we know that there's no coincidence when each of you choose to be here tonight, and recognizing that this is a way that they can get these messages forward to you. Now with Justin, he does give me this sense about it's hard taking him serious sometimes. Can you understand
Yes.
that he would be playful, because
Oh, yes.
I don't want to say he cried wolf a few times, but I do get the
No.
sense that he may have told some tall tales, is what he's telling me. So I think that he'd pull your leg and you'd have to say, are you telling me the truth? Is this real? Did this really happen? Because I do feel coming back again, having just a very vivid imagination. I know the younger girl coming through first, that was with her as well, but I do feel that same way with Justin, that he has just a big imagination. Can you understand that?
Definitely.
Okay. And I do feel with him too, you know, thinking about the Marvel comics, the superheroes, all of that. I feel like he was into all of it. And I do feel him being a very good storyteller, not just telling stories, but the idea of writing things like that. Now, I know that one of the things that came through earlier as well was very smart, but not necessarily like school or didn't
Yeah.
want to be in school. So I know that he fits that category as well. And he kind of shrugs his shoulders and just says, yeah, but I did, you know, I made it through. And I think if anything, it's because you pretty much told him, you got to do it. You got to go. You got to finish. And I know too that he's giving me a sense that you keep looking out the window or there's something on the window. So I don't know if you're seeing a reflection or there's something, a glare coming in, not necessarily in this moment, Barbara, but do you find yourself looking out and there's either something reflected back to you or you feel his presence at that time? So can you understand looking out the window, reflection, something like that?
No, I can't. Not right now. I don't feel
Okay.
that.
Okay, so feel into it. This may be something that is to come, but he does show me it's almost like um, you find yourself or catch yourself looking out, but it's almost like he's looking back at you. So I don't know if it's more of a reflection like a mirror, but I see almost like a window, if that makes sense. Okay. And when I see this, it could be too, not a literal, it could be more like spending time in reflection, you know, looking out what's next, what's tomorrow. So it can be more of a symbolic or metaphorical type message as well. Can you understand it more in that way?
Definitely. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So I know when I see things, it's a matter of understanding what it means when I see it. The
Yeah.
other thing that your son wants to remind you too, because he's talking about putting things up. So he's showing me like the top of a closet, and I don't know if there's just some blankets or a quilt or something, but he's telling me you can't quite reach it. So I don't know if he would put things up for you, or there's some other things up there in the top of the closet that you're trying to reach or that you're wanting to get down. So can you understand that? And I know sometimes we put the holiday decorations up, but he's showing me something like a folded blanket or quilt, and it does look blue in color, but it's at the top. So can you understand that?
Yeah, it could be one of two different things actually.
Okay, so just kind of feel into it, but I know that he keeps showing me trying to reach it or get it down or move something or just sticking your hand up there without getting a chair. But he gives me this sense about just get the chair because what you'll find is up there. So I get a sense almost like looking for something or needing to put something up in its place. Okay.
Okay.
Don't think too much about it, but I
Yeah.
saw that image coming in and wanted to recognize it. The
Yeah.
other thing he's telling me too, Barbara, I don't know if you've been having some headaches, worrying a lot on your mind. Can you understand that? Because I feel pressure in this right side of the head.
Yeah, but he also had the brain hemorrhage.
Okay, so that could be him
That's what
also.
killed
Okay,
him.
okay. Because I do feel that there. I didn't know if it was him acknowledging it for himself or acknowledging it for you that you've been worrying or got something on your mind or having headaches.
Yes, that definitely makes sense to
Yes.
me.
Okay, so I just know that he's aware of it as well, and he's just saying, Mom, he doesn't want you to dwell on it. He doesn't want you to worry on it. when I feel his energy, he does give me this sense of so much love and peace and his presence being around you. So I know that he wants you to feel it. Just like tonight, you could feel it. You knew it was him trying to come through and say he was here. He says, you got to trust that. You got to trust it more often. Okay.
Okay.
He's making a wisecrack too. He showed me Groucho Marx. So I don't know, a lot of people don't necessarily know that, but I see the bushy
Yeah.
eyebrows and the glasses and kind of talking out of the side. So I don't know if he would mimic him or there's something else or another joke connected to that. But I just had a flash of him come in for a moment.
No, not Groucho Marx. No.
Okay. Or someone
Okay.
that looks like him. But that I saw that character come in for a moment.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I just saw it, as I said, so I know that your son's recognizing that as well, okay? And he's just saying, Mom, love ya, love ya. So I know that he wants to give you big love, big hugs. And once again, thank you for being here tonight and thank you for speaking up.
Thank you, Shelly, so much.
You are
Thank
so
you.
welcome. You are so welcome. Blessings to
God
you.
bless you.
I'm so glad that Barbara wrote in the chat box. That was
Mhm.
beautiful. And we only have about 3 minutes left, but I was wondering if maybe you could just remind everyone that all of the kids are here with us this evening
Yes,
and
yes.
say something to them, to all of these parents, to let them know that even if they don't hear from their kids, they are just helping others move forward and be able to have a voice. They're all helping each other to communicate and get through to us. But I know that you know that.
Yes, yes. And Elizabeth has said it so well. And it is truly when we gather in this place, they gather as well. And it's like they're helping to bring forth their energy. They join forces with one another, just like the example here tonight, where they were helping others to come through and get messages. Your children love you, they're with you. We look at the time element involved for doing these presentations. So, as we know, we can only bring through a few. But keep in mind that this is their way of saying that life continues, that they're with you. And once again, remember to take note of the thoughts and feelings and words and impressions. They're wanting you to know they're here. We just have to understand that communication. So the more that you can heighten your awareness and tune in and trust what you feel and what you see and what you hear and what you know, that's their way of communicating with you. Absolutely. Sometimes they'll come through in your dream state as visitations, but more often than not, they'll come through during your waking hours. Pop in, say hello, and they're giving you those thoughts and memories, letting you know they're here.
Well, that was absolutely beautiful. And I am just always so grateful when we gather like this. I always feel my ears are ringing. So I know that they're all here. I know that all of our kids are here. And I am just so grateful to you for all that you did for us before during the holiday season, but also right now. And again, Shelly will be with our group Spiritual Tools for Grief Healing next week. So you can be with her next week. She's actually delaying a visit to see her grandson who was just born to be able to help out with Helping Parents Heal, and I'm sure a lot of other groups. So thank you, Shelly. And you will also see her at the conference, which is very exciting. Thank you all for being here. We always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you. So
Thank you, Shelly.
I'd like to
Yes,
do that.
thanks, Shelley. We
Congratulations.
love you.
Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Shelly.
Thank
Have a
you.
Good night,
wonderful
everybody.
Shelly.
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.